Welcome back. Today we're just going to have a look at some repairs before we carry on with our project. So the first one we're going to look at here, there's no name on this, okay, which makes it much more difficult to determine whose it is and help those people. But this one, no glue. Okay, so this guy decided that it doesn't need glue and there's absolutely no strength to that. Okay, so this one here is nice and solid, but the problem is we've got too many nails. So what we're going to try and do is get in there, pull that out. So there's a pair of pliers here I can pop my nail out with. This one here, I can use a steel rule. So don't just bang your nails in there. So if they're going crooked, just stop and fish them out, okay? Yeah, I can get that out. I can use my vise. So there's two different ways of pulling nails out, okay? If you don't pull the nail out, it's only going to go in 3/4 of the way. That nail there, for example, he's not going to go in very far. He's only going to go in to the first layer, so he's not very strong, okay? So this guy here, we've not actually lined these up properly at all, okay? So that's not cool. What we need to do is we can kind of fix these up sometimes. If I put that somewhere nice and solid and just give that one good hard smack, piece can come off of there. Sometimes you fix them and sometimes you can't. Okay, so they are a bit hit and miss. When I pull them out like that, I can pop my nails through. And pull the nails back out as well. Okay, so this could be reused. Obviously, it's all out of square as well. And the rest of it. Now this one here, what am I looking at? This one's not so bad. We want to be nice and flush all around those edges, okay? But again, we've got those nails in there. We want to, you know, stop hitting them. This one here is well out of square for the main reason, okay? So if I put a square on that, he's well out of square. This is all supposed to be square, okay, so we can see at that point how much out of square it is. Okay, so when we make our box with that, it's all going to be out of square. We've only got one nail in here too, but the main reason is both ends of that one are all out of square, so that needs to be pulled apart. And maybe we'll get lucky with this one. So also probably not a lot of glue on this one either, but that's no biggie. What we can do is we can pop the nail out, and we're actually back to where we started from. We can just re-glue that together. We can give that one a quick sand and glue that all back together nice and square and flush and all those things. So again with this one, I can just put that there and just put in the vise perhaps, and give it a G, pop it off, okay? So we don't want to go bashing stuff, just a little bit of control force. We can sand all that stuff off and it's ready to go back. The other little repair, the other little repair that we'll do is just on this tape measure. So a lot of young fellas like my tape measures and they go bang, bang, bang. Okay. So what we go zim, bang all day long. The other thing they do is they sit here and it's normally about here, they click, okay, and it actually breaks the tape through here, but this tape measure, this all bent, all this end here is all bent. So when we come to use it on the next job, because it's been let go of, it's sitting hit there. So what I'm going to do, that will add about 6 millimeters to my measurements. So that's much better to where it needs to be. Okay, so now I'll be able to measure far more correctly. Thanks. Welcome back. So if I look at my work from yesterday, it's pretty reasonable. Okay, we're pretty lined up there, pretty lined up there, pretty lined up there. But what I'm going to do is give that a sand off, just for good measure, to make sure that it's got a really nice surface, so that when the next piece of wood sits on there, it's going to actually sit there really nicely and it'll be a good even gap right there. Okay, we don't want it sticking out, so let's do that. We are going to look at what's called a third sheet sander. So when a sheet of sandpaper comes out, is 3 times that size, so that makes it a third of a sheet for this particular one. Now, so when we're using the sandpaper, we want to spread the sanding out because we don't want to just sand it in one place. So here we have, you know, what I have found typical is guys just sit there and sand on one particular spot. You know, all the rest of the sandpaper is actually brand new. So we want to use all of that sandpaper. You know, if you're at home and this is all you're paying for all this stuff, you want to get your value for money out of it. And likewise, it's good practice to use all of the sandpaper, okay? So yes, I do have sanding machines, but this little project is about hand tools that we could use at home and we can buy cheaply. A sander like this is about $30, so we can have these at home. Now I put it in the vise, I don't want to tighten it up too much, I don't want vice marks on my work, but I can now work away quite happily on this. This is obviously going to make a lot of vibrations and noise when I do it. These machines are pretty safe to use, just watch out for your electrical safety obviously. Now the other thing I was going to show you is these clips. So your sandpaper often pulls out, okay, and you've got to reclip it in. So when it pulls out, reclip it in and organise it, okay. It'll do it on both ends, it'll fall out. So effectively we just sit there. You get different grades of sandpaper. So for what we're doing, we want a fairly coarse grade of sandpaper, so something about 80 or 100 grit, something like that. So that takes away a lot of material. We're not particularly worried about any marks left in the wood at this stage. Similar marks are actually helpful to let the glue soak into. So we have our 60 wide plywood, and we look at the next step. The next step is these green pieces, which are on the work, and they're written on there 325 long. So our steel rules we use are only just over 300 millimeters long, which creates a problem for us because we only got 300 at this point. So 325 is probably about that point, but we can use another tool in our toolbox. So when I look at this one, there's 200 there, there's 300 here, and 325 is this measurement here. So I like to put those V marks 325 millimeters. So I'm going to mark that there, I'm going to cut that there, I'm going to put my name on that. Okay, I'll be back. The next tip is the first one that I've cut, that I named. If I sit that on the next one and then mark across the end of it, and then put this one aside. This is my measuring stick, so that all of them are going to be the same length. If I use the second one as the measuring stick, then what they can do is each one can get slightly longer. When you mark with the pen, you get half a millimeter longer. So by the time you get through the 8th one, you're about 4 millimeters longer than the one you started with. So always use the same one and just use that as your marking stick. At this point, it doesn't matter what the number is. We want 8 the same size. Welcome back. So we are up to this stage. We've made these parts, and now we're up to this stage here. We're putting the 325s on one side. So the first drawing is that part. Let's go and do that. Remember, we're using 25 nails for the reason that we're short of the 19s, for no other reason. So these have been sanded up now and they're looking good. Sorry about me cold. Okay, I need to sit that in the corner and I can line that up with that edge, and okay, check on where I'm up to. The nail's been done me sometimes too, particularly the first one. So just constantly checking where I'm up to with it, and it all looks pretty good. So again, I can pop that one in there. I can grab the next one. I want to look for the nicer side of the wood and put that down there. Just checking where I'm up to. it's a little bit of a checking. If it's overhanging slightly, that's okay. You better be overhanging than underhanging. If you're overhanging, you can sand them back, no problem. So what I do want to do now is just check that my handles are both facing the top, because quite often guys get the handles around the wrong way. One handle there, one handle there. When that happens, what we do is we cut another handle on the bottom on both sides so that we end up with a bigger handle and it looks like it's supposed to be there. Okay, so not the end of the world. Don't throw your work away, just have a bit of a quick rethink on it. We can fix it up. Come and ask the teacher. I've seen it many times. Okay, I do it myself the odd time. Okay, so again, we're working here. Check that's all good. So again, it's lined up pretty well there, and because I'm working in my square, I can keep things pretty much lined up. It's a different colour, eh? I must have put this around the wrong way, or it's a different piece of wood. That's okay. We will clear coat these boxes and make them look good with a clear coat. Okay. And there is a reason that I don't use a nail gun here. Two reasons. One is that my young people, bless them, will use them as guns and shoot nails over the place. But the main reason is we want to learn how to use a nail. Again, at home you won't have a nail gun and a compressor, but you will have a hammer and some nails. So all of these things can be done at home. I quite like these 25 nails. They're actually not bad nails. You notice I'm just pushing it back into the order. Okay, so that's that done, and then by the magic of video, we'll put the other side on in a second. Actually, I'll show you that because it does trap a few guys, this little spot. Yep, that's no good. Just make sure he's all lined up. What the trouble is, guys get to this point and go, oh, look, it's sitting out or sitting in. So one way or the other, it's sitting in or sitting out. But what we need to do is we need to pull it, okay, so that we can pull it and then push down and hold it in place. You know, you do need a bit of manipulating the wood and the work. Okay, so we've got to keep checking, holding it. Once the first nail's in, he's good. But we want to push and pull that till it's in the right place. Okay, put my sides on. Maybe a little hard to see those. Anyway, put my sides on. Next step, I want to check, make sure my box overall is square in this dimension. So that's where I use my square on my table as well. If I need to, this particular one's pretty good, but if I need to, I can put it here like this and push down on it, or push down on it this way, just gently, and I can manipulate and find out if I need to make it square. So next stage is I need to identify the bottom. So there's my handles at the top. Okay, so that will make this piece the bottom. So if my edges here are not lined up, that's where I need to go and do my sanding again. This one here is a little bit off. You know, I'm not perfect, that's fine. What I want to show you here is this edge here. This particular one, we need to glue all the way along that. That edge is doing all of the lifting of the box, okay? This is the main structural part of the box. It gives the box all the strength, okay? So we need to make sure that we've got a good amount of glue all the way along this one, okay? Like I say, that's where all the strength of the box comes from. And make sure our handles are on the bottom there, so that this is the bottom of the work. And again, I like to put my nicer side of wood facing down on the table, which will be up in the box. So when you look through the box, you'll see the nicer part of the wood. Okay, it's only a small thing, it doesn't really matter a whole lot, but nobody's looking at the bottom of the box, is my point. Okay, so I'm taking care that I'm lining up all that outside edge up, because in a minute I want 1, 2, 3 nails across there as well. So I put the 2 outside edges on. Okay, a bit of extra glue there. Make sure you have plenty of glue. Plenty of glue is a good thing. Put the 2 outside edges on first, and then it's much easier to line these guys up. Okay, so what I do now is simply line up my gaps until they look even and say, yep. Now there's other ways of doing that, measuring it and putting blocks of wood and all sorts of things, but for what we're doing, that looks good. Now I just want to check that my work is lined up, and I do have a weight here. I'm going to put one of them here. I actually have 5 weights here, so I can add a whole lot of weights. You can just put your pieces on and start nailing as you go. When you can see the weight on it, and you can see that it's squeezing the glue out, okay, that's actually what we're looking for. That glue works best when it's got some compression behind it. Okay, so putting the weights on helps that. And this here, like I said, that's our main structural part of the box. That gives it all its strength. We will come along and put 1, 2, 3 nails in, and a nail there, 2 nails there, 2 nails there, and possibly 2 nails there as well. Okay, and that'll give our box a huge amount of strength. But if we don't line this up properly, and if we don't glue it, our box is very, very weak, like I showed earlier with the no glue joints. But that's our box for now, and I'll come back a little bit later and put some nails in and take you to the laser and do the laser naming. Cheers.
A little different